Hey, this is Mike and Tom with the Muscle and Speed podcast. We're here to talk about our favorite car movies, TV shows, music, and workouts, wheeling, whatever else comes to our mind. We're going to be posting these up once a week. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Muscle and Speed. We also have a website, www.muscleandspeed.com, where we'll eventually be selling some merch. Our goal here is to share our passion for all these things with the people who feel the same way. And we're back. It's Muscle and Speed. We haven't done this in what, a year?
Been a year.
Yeah. We probably should have started this earlier with the COVID crap going on that had everything locked down. It's not like I've been busy.
It seems like you have been, though.
Well,
you got working on the cars. You were selling cars.
Yeah.
You had stuff going on.
Yeah, but there was still a lot of Netflixing. A lot of Netflixing going on. I told someone the other day, I think I ran out of crap to watch. Just, I'm really excited for Cobra Kai season 3.
Yes. We were just talking about that today.
Cobra Kai never dies, man. Daniel LaRusso totally screwed Johnny. That was some crap. Miyagi and Daniel are bullies.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's not go there.
Yeah, bullies. Hey, think about it. Daniel shows up, new kid in the school, comes in, kicks over the boombox, then steals the football, then steals the girl, then dumps water on him while he's trying to smoke some weed, comes to his school, disrespects him.
Hey, we might not have the same exact stories, but we were that kid. We were LaRusso.
Yeah.
Going to the new school, sometimes bigger school, trying to make a name. That's why we relate so well. But it is nice to see Johnny's side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a complete asshole.
He got screwed.
He got screwed.
He had an abusive...
Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah. And then he turned into a drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the adaptation. That was nice. That's how it was so easy to get back into the story, because it was like, oh man, yeah. Because you don't think about poor Johnny. Poor Johnny.
Right. Yeah, he really took the L there. Stole his girl, killed his school, shut the school down.
Not just a girl. Not just a girl. There was a meme or something about who was your biggest crush in the 80s. Yeah. And Elizabeth Shue was up there. She was getting put on there. So it's like, I mean, if you had her stolen from you, that's hardcore.
Yeah. Hard to recover.
You thought you had it all.
Well,
he stole everything.
He stole everything, and ultimately he didn't recover. That's the thing. But yeah, I mean, look, he was driving the same Firebird, right?
Yeah.
He had his same car. I love, though, the intro of like him coming to that kid's defense. He's getting beat up by the bullies, awesome. And he's like, "Get off my car, man."
Because that's what it would be like, though, if you were in his situation.
Yeah.
His spot. Yeah.
And then it's Cobra Kai. Then it's on.
Cobra Kai. Which also, that one dude is crazy, man. What's his face?
Krieger?
Yeah, Krieger.
Not Krieger. What the hell's his name?
I wanted to say Creed, but I think it was just
Creed.
Because you said, or I can't remember.
No, I think you're right.
Creed?
I think it's
Creed. Yeah.
Isn't Krieger
man,
from
he is nuts.
That cartoon?
Yeah.
Isn't that German scientist on that next name of that cartoon? It's on Comedy Central. It's the spy.
Oh.
It's the voice from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, you're talking the where it's like Back to the Future?
No, well,
not Rick and Morty.
Not Rick and Morty.
Okay.
God, everybody's gonna be throwing a fit. Hang on, where's my phone?
See, I'm missing it. Now you got to look it up on your phone.
I gotta look it up right now, real quick.
Oh, by the way, everybody, this is Glenn Joy. It's our special guest today.
Yeah.
He also loves muscle cars. Chevelle is his car.
Yes, indeed.
What year? 68?
69.
69 Chevelle. He wants the SS.
69 Chevelle is my favorite Chevelle as well. Crap, why can't I remember? Wait, I got it. Bob's
Scientist.
Burgers.
Nah, Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Futurama? Is it Futurama?
No.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll have it in just a second. The guy who does Bob Belcher on Bob's Burgers does the voice of the main character on this one as well. Archer.
Archer. Okay,
Oh,
yes. Now
So
I know.
remember-
See,
That's
but
psychotic
I've never
German
really
scientist.
gotten a chance to watch it.
Oh, well. Don't watch it around the kids. But
I knew that. I
but-
knew.
but also it's hilarious.
I know. I could see. I just never got an opportunity. Never got an opportunity to watch.
Yeah. It's a good one. It ended. It's a throwback type deal, but
So it's a real bummer that we're missing all these car shows.
yeah.
Yeah.
It for us, for up in the Upper Peninsula, it starts for us really the first like Memorial Weekend, right around in there, Escanaba, the Cruising Classics Car Club. They put on a car show in Escanaba at the fairgrounds, and it's hundreds of cars there. And they have tons of sponsors. It's a 2-day event. They've got a cruise on Fridays, and they have a swap meet Saturday morning, and then the car show. And it's fantastic. I try never to miss it. That got canceled. And then the Bridgefest car show up in Houghton got canceled. And then the Ontonagon car show got canceled. And then the Keweenaw Cruisers, their car show up in Copper Harbor, that got canceled. And
St.
Buzz the Gut
Ignace.
in Ishpeming, St. Ignace got canceled. And that's a huge
The Nautical
one.
Festival car show.
Yeah.
That one's canceled.
And
They
then,
canceled that early on.
Then one of our local shows, the Q Cruise, that got canceled. The village wouldn't do permitting, so we couldn't have that car show. And then, but Beth and Rob Reynolds, they own the Baraga Drive-In. They stepped up and they had their car show anyway.
Yes, they
It
did.
was awesome.
I missed it.
Yeah, they had a live band, the whole nine. And so everybody knows that was over a month ago, and we do a lot of COVID testing. I work at the local health clinic, and we didn't have a spike in cases from it. It was pretty safe. So we had 43 cars show up and well over 100 people, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
So we were at that event, and I was talking to Stanley Spruce and Robin and Ken Lindblom, and I said, well, why doesn't Muscle and Speed... I was planning to do a car show next year, trying to talk the casino into it, but it just felt like this year was... we needed it. We needed another one. We needed a place to go. So I called the casino, and the promotions person, Laura Mayo, she jumped all over it. Then Larry Denemy approved it. He's the casino general manager. And we were off to the races. So we got canopies, we got signs, we got banners, we got shirts, we got hats, we got raffle prizes, we got, or not raffle, sorry, giveaway prizes. I gotta be careful with that word. Apparently that's a legal action word. It is a giveaway. No money will change hands.
So it's what do we say it is?
It's just a giveaway.
What's-
We're doing a giveaway.
Politically correct. It's just a giveaway.
Right? We're doing a giveaway.
All right.
Next year it'll be a raffle. We just weren't prepared this year. And we're going to move the weekend next year. We're going to put it on a weekend where nothing's going on. This year, there's nothing happening. So we didn't have to worry about that.
Yes. So can I say it? Here we come to save the day, Muscle and Speed.
That's right.
August 22nd. We're not afraid.
No,
Come on.
We got a massive part of the casino parking lot. They're very generous with us, so it'll be safe. It's going to be cordoned off. You're going to have your own space with your own area to have your car and everything set up. We'll have 2 food vendors on site. Res Robin is going to be there. Robin Chosa. He's a multiple-time fry bread champion winner up here at the KBIC powwow, and um, then we're going to have the Dog Father. If you want mafia themed hot dogs and brats, this guy's
Yeah.
got them, and they're amazing. You want a Corleone dog? He's got
He's got it.
it. Yeah.
So there's this movie that is pretty well known. It's called Forrest Gump. You seen that, right?
Forrest Gump,
Seen Forrest Gump?
obviously.
Okay, so you remember how all the fishing boats they all got crashed by the hurricane, right?
Right.
Except for Forrest's boat. He's the only one. We're the only one. We're the only car show. We're swooping in. We're gonna grab all that.
Yep. Well, and we invited everybody. We reached out to the Cruising Classics Club, to Buzz the Gut over in Marquette and Ishpeming, to the Keweenaw Cruisers up in the Calumet area, Houghton.
And we've been reaching out right here. I still don't have a flyer to put up at the store. It'd still be worth it with a week left. There's a lot of people traveling.
I'll send it to you. Well, or you can just grab it off the Facebook feed because I've posted it on there. It's that same poster that
I'll do that
with the cars on it.
Yep.
We'll have buttons that say Muscle and Speed First Annual Car Show. They're 3x2 inch, really nice tin buttons, and so the first 50 cars that come and register, they'll get one. We'll give them some information about Muscle and Speed, where we are, where they can watch, because this will go up on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the normal spots.
Yeah.
I don't do TikTok.
I don't do TikTok. What about TikTok? You got TikTok?
Glenn, are you on TikTok?
He didn't even know what it is.
Shout out to
We're
TikTok. Okay. I don't know, Glenn. I think it's little kids dancing, but I'm not sure. I don't know. That one's not for me. I feel like I'm a 40-some-year-old man that sits around looking at my cars and planning to buy cars and listening to music and drinking good whiskey, and so I probably shouldn't be on TikTok.
I'm working full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. We work.
But what do I know? I'm sure it's great. The car show is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping for a good turnout. Obviously, the casino needs to see a good turnout. They need to see that we're going to be a good partner, and that it'll be to their benefit. And then we can continue to do it. You know.
I don't know how you could beat it. I think either way we win. Either way, people show up for the car show, we win. The casino wins.
Right.
People show up to the casino to go spend money. We win anyways.
Well, and it's not official yet that I know of. The casino is going to try to sell. They have like a beer cart or something out there too. So
awesome.
That'll be available. Yeah. Just so that everybody knows, though, our casino, you do have to wear a mask inside. You are checked at the door, your temp and such. So yeah, just be prepared for that. But also,
I was checking up on ours. Our casino is no smoking anymore, and you get your temperature checked, and you have to wear a mask.
Yeah. Yep.
6 feet.
So
every other registry.
They've got their little barricade. They do.
But I will say at the same time, I don't want people being mask Nazis in the parking lot.
No,
someone's
I don't.
Not wearing it. Just social distance.
Yeah.
Social distance and mind your business.
Nobody gets upset over nothing. It's a waste of time. You know.
I did get this crazy 1,000 watt dual 10-inch subwoofer Bluetooth speaker. It's battery powered. It's massive and it's really loud.
All right.
I got that. So
for PA? Make announcements or what?
So it has a wireless microphone, but I'm going to be playing music through it for during the day. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a given. The whole time. Now, is it going to be your own playlist, or are you going to let people make suggestions?
Here's what I found. I think this is kind of cool. I know that younger folks may roll their eyes at it, but I found a 5-hour block of Wolfman Jack when he was promoting
Oh, hell
American
yes.
Graffiti. So
Wolfman.
we're gonna pretend it's Southern California in 1956 or 60, whatever.
Yes. Speaking of that, if I'd have had a camera today, the cars that showed up at the store, we had a red Cutlass convertible with red matching rims, and then we had a 50, I want to say it's a 55 Chevy Bel Air.
Yeah.
Is there a 55 Chevy Bel Air?
Sure.
Because it looked like all completely redone, like perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't have that to show, but at least I can say I seen it today. That was nice.
Yeah.
The Corvette or the Camaro, different color door fenders.
Oh, that was some kid came in. He had to go check out my car. He had an '82 Firebird with a 305,
Oh,
and
nice.
it had the. I mean, I appreciated the fact that he replaced door panels and stuff. They were mismatched colors, but it was straight.
Hey, if it runs.
He's doing a good job. He's trying to revive it.
That's right.
Yeah.
They always say, get it running and driving.
Yeah.
Worry about the rest later.
That's what he's doing.
But yeah. That's cool. The 55 Chevy is what Harrison Ford was driving in American Graffiti. That was a black 55 Chevy.
But he had that souped up though. That wasn't like factory. That thing was sitting kind of high.
No, in fact, so of course American Graffiti was filmed in the 70s, 1976, I think. So that car is the same 55 Chevy that's in two-lane blacktop that James Taylor and Warren Oates drove.
Yes, I was gonna watch that again.
So I know that is a 55 Chevy set up as like a mild gasser build, so it has that solid front axle. That's the way they were going to build it for that. I don't think they did that. I think it just had a mini tub and some bigger tires, but it was a 454 big block. That's what was in there, and it is a very fast car. Yeah. Fiberglass front end, one-piece front end. Mm-hmm. So, it was quick.
Well, I noticed, here's something that I noticed when I was looking at Crate Motors, just to see. I see the price going up.
Oh, yeah. Everything's going up.
Like not like a little bit, like a lot. I was thinking like $6,000-$7,000.
Yeah.
But they're like more like 10, 12.
It's the same with cars. When I got my 68 Mustang coupe, you could get a nice 68 fastback with a 6-cylinder, so it would need a V8 swap. You get a nice 68 fastback with a 6-cylinder for $10,000. I mean, really nice. Like, doesn't need anything other than
I know
V8.
that because when I first fell in love with the Camaro, that I found one that was it was a 67. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was badged, but I know it was either an RS or an SS, and he only wanted like it was like under $10,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was like 95 or 96. So
yeah. Well, and same thing with the late 70s, early 80s Firebirds and Camaros. You could get them all day long in great shape for $5,000-$6,000. I mean, really nice.
Yeah.
Now, forget it.
No, not anymore. No, I keep an eye. I'm always looking at Auto Trader, the magazine, because we get them.
Yeah.
At the store. It was a 86 IROC with a 305. It was automatic, and it was like mint condition, but $13,000.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it was like 86,000 miles. But still, they're going up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Price is going up.
I like. Here's the thing. It's like the Fox body Mustang. Those 80s to early 90s Mustangs, they weren't worth nothing for a longest time, and now the values are. Yeah, now the value is really shooting up on those too. So
I've been paying attention, man. You never know what you got until you get it.
Right.
Well, I think everybody, if you get into that, if you get a muscle car or something, you got to give it a chance, and that's what I'm trying to do with mine. I'm giving it a shot. I'm putting some money in, see what happens, see how much I like it when it drives like it's brand new.
Sometimes I miss that Challenger SRT8 I had. Sometimes I miss it.
Well, I only got to see it twice. I didn't
I
even
didn't
get
have
to
it very
drive
long.
it, so yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was fast.
Pretty
That was a
sweet.
really fast car. It
Yeah,
had
I
the
can imagine, man.
it was a 2014, so it had the 392 6-speed manual, so it's 475, 485 horsepower, something like that.
See, I was imagining that you said it was just over 400 horsepower, but yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was almost 500. Um,
Horsepower, that one, yeah, that's.
that was the fastest car I've had. My black
Didn't
Mustang,
you
that
get a
was pretty
ticket?
quick. Not in the Challenger, I never did.
No,
My
the
black
Charger
Mustang,
did.
the Charger, I got two within like 6 months. That thing was cursed.
He had the Hemi Charger, all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
2014. It was the brightest red, and I put a Hellcat spoiler on it, and I got. They don't even make them anymore. There's a Krager SS wheel, chrome polished lip with a black center. It's a
yeah.
20 by 9. I got these awesome Continental tires, and that thing, yeah, it was all-wheel drive Hemi. It looked cool. I got Dodge Performance suspension, dropped it an inch all the way around, and that's the car we took out west. But yeah, that was a cop magnet for some reason. I don't know. I've been good ever since though. Haven't been busted in a long time.
So we both of us have put a considerable amount of money into our cars this summer.
Yeah,
It feels
gas
good.
tank. Yeah, I did the gas tank, the fuel sender, fuel lines, alternator, voltmeter, wheel bearings, brakes, uh, some of the ignition stuff, some wiring, and now I'm rebuilding the rear end. Like I'm gonna do the suspension next. I'm gonna kind of do what you did. I did shocks as well, but I'm gonna do springs and sway bars and end links and upper and lower control arms and tighten all that up.
Yeah, we got a ways to go. I think I would say at this point we're around the same spot.
Kind of the thing
Kind
that's
of.
sitting out there for me though is I actually have some body repair I've got to do, and then paint the car, and that's considerable. That's
I've
going to be a
got a little
considerable amount of
bit.
money.
I've got one spot about the about it's about an inch and a half. You can barely see it. It's all on the surface, right above the rear wheel well.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't even barely notice it. You have to really get up there, but it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. They all got something. They're old cars that they've been driven, and to me, it's sad if they don't. You know what I mean? That means it's been sitting in a garage under a cover and gotten taken to car shows and then put back under a cover. That sucks.
Yep.
What do they say? It's like not sleeping with your wife to save her for the next guy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Which you know, for a while there, I was considering selling the car, but it's coming off of for sale.
Oh well, I was going to ask you because if you were going to continue to try to sell it, we could blast it out over Muscle and Speed and stuff, and
Well,
see
yeah,
if we
because
can.
that I mean, just because of the I know the considerable amount of help that it did giving it brand new tires and suspension, the price would go up, and now that I've invested in it almost $2,000, it's time to keep it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I'll never get rid of the Cutlass. That'll go to Jordan someday. So when I'm
And
ready
that would
to,
still hopefully he would keep it,
yeah,
you know, and keep it up. Keep that could be like a tradition.
I'm gonna keep that till it's time for the high-waisted jean shorts, the white polo, white New Balance sneakers, the trucker hat. Get that Corvette.
Yeah.
Start calling everybody Sport finger pistols. Hey, Sport.
Yeah, the hat says USS Grandpa.
Yep. Drive by the school, wave to the kids.
No way, man. I say all in. You want that Corvette, damn it. Get the Corvette.
Someday.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. You will walk out that door in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding.
You can get a chance to drive that sucker.
I can tell you what Corvette I'm going to get. I'm
What do you
shooting
got?
for a It'd be a 2010 to 2013 Grand Sport. I
Those
want a
things are
Corvette.
crazy.
Yeah, I want a Corvette Grand Sport automatic. I don't want a manual because I'm going to be
Why
old.
not?
I'm going to be old.
Oh, okay. I get it.
I'm going to be really old, and so it'll be an automatic, and that way Julie or I could drive it. I'd really like a dark blue on tan interior. I really would. That's a good old man combo.
So we had this old native guy come in. What's his last name? His first name is Virgil. What's his last name?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he's this tribal guy, and he comes in, and he's got this gray Mustang, and I'm looking at it, and it's got the circle headlights. It's got to be like a 2009, something like that anyways. And to me, it looked like he put some stuff on it, but not that it was anything special, that maybe it was the V6. So I learned my lesson on that because I'm watching him pull out, and he gets out and traffic's going. This is US 31 north of Petoskey, and this truck was coming about maybe it was about a quarter mile away, and he punched it at the edge of the parking lot, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. Yeah, he had I think it had the what is it, the Roosh window loopers?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just got to drive a Roush RS3 Mustang 2019. Friend
It
of ours
sounded
is,
beautiful though.
yeah, it was
Really
a
nice.
pilot down in South Carolina. He's up visiting and visiting his folks and stuff, and he dropped in to say hello and let me drive the car. 750 horsepower, 10-speed
Yeah.
auto. It's loud and really fast, like boggle your mind fast. Now that's the fastest car I've ever driven.
Well, you
Definitely.
did miss that chance in Vegas. You were supposed to go to a track, weren't you? You had a whole plan.
Yeah, I was gonna rent the GT500, and Julie was gonna rent probably the Corvette, or she's kind of interested in driving a Ferrari just to say she did. So we'll see.
I'm
But we're
interested.
well, we we got a voucher because the trip was paid for, and obviously with the COVID crap going on, we weren't even sure we'd be able to do it. So we canceled the trip due to COVID, and they gave us a voucher to go in the next 2 years. So either next summer or the summer after, we'll be going, and we're gonna do
Awesome.
that stuff. So
Well,
it'll be
one of
fun.
the things I'm looking forward to is I'd like to get out to Reno,
Reno?
go through that assault rifle range with cousin Rob.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to do that with him.
that'd
That'd
be
be
cool.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm either gonna buy a car while we're out there to drive home, or we're gonna ship Julie's Jeep out there and drive that back.
Yeah. Why not?
So originally we were gonna come back on Route 66 and revisit some of the places we went to a few years ago. But I think what we're gonna do instead is shoot north to Glacier National Park in Montana and then come back across that way and revisit Deadwood and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's the plan. We'll see what happens.
Well, it's really unfortunate that all these car shows are getting canceled because I've seen some beautiful cars this summer. I did see a Ferrari. I've seen it twice now, and
Race it.
beautiful DeLorean. I mean, like mint condition. It was so awesome.
When I was in college, I had an '86 Mazda 323, little red four-door, four-cylinder car.
I remember that car.
I think it had a 1.6 liter engine, maybe. Um, so I was pulling up to a stoplight in Rochester Hills on my way. I think I was either coming to work or going from work. I worked at Kmart and in Rochester, and there was a Lamborghini at the light, and I think it was a Diablo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Diablo. And I revved my engine at him. I had my windows down. I was trying to get his attention. I did a neutral slam, squawked the tires when the light turned green. He totally ignored me. He was not interested.
We went into Grand Rapids and took the kids to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
And it's at the big mall, and when we were coming out of the parking lot, all this noise, I mean, like loud, like you didn't know where it was coming from. It was everywhere in the parking lot. And it was like 3 different supercars.
Nope.
It was either 2 Lamborghinis and a Ferrari, but they were racing around the parking lot. I don't know what the hell they were doing going out. I mean, it was right off the freeway.
Yeah.
Pretty epic, though. You don't see that all the time.
Yeah, well, there was a guy that came down from Houghton last summer, and he had a Lamborghini Gallardo, and I think I have a picture of it on Muscle and Speed, and then his wife had a Bentley GT. So, I mean, 2 really expensive cars.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping on the cars, but the muscle cars are still cooler to me. I'm still more interested in somebody's GTO or 68 Charger or, name it.
67 Firebird.
Yeah, 67 Firebird, 69 Mach 1. I'm still more interested in that. So, yeah. Well, in fact, the owner of the drive-in, Rob, he's got I think it's a 70 or 71 Camaro RS with the split bumper.
Yeah.
He's got a 383 stroker in it. It is a gorgeous car. Gorgeous. 4-speed. It is awesome.
Like $26,000.
And it'll blow the doors off of a lot of modern muscle cars.
Well, I know it.
It's
somebody
quick.
Posted, and I don't know what it is with the 383, but somebody had posted, I think it was a mid-80s Camaro with the 383, and they said it'll be anything.
It depends. I mean, so here's the thing. Like a 383 well built, like aluminum heads, like the whole nine, is going to make well over 400 horsepower. So if you have a good transmission, like a quick shifting, performance auto, or even a really good 4-speed, you're going to be able to hang right there because it's all power to weight. And those old Mustangs and Camaros weigh a lot less than new ones.
I know that.
A new Mustang,
I realize that.
the new Mustang, the new Camaro, the new Challenger, they weigh more than my Cutlass does. So think about how big a car my Cutlass is. It's lighter than those by a couple hundred pounds. That's crazy
to me because I always thought that the old cars were heavier, that they weighed more.
They were for a long time. Like your Camaro and the Mustangs of the same years are a lot lighter than what the new ones are. But like a GT500 Mustang is almost 4,000 pounds. The Challenger's over 4,000 pounds. The Camaro comes in at like 3,800, 3,900, depending on trim. They're heavy. They're really heavy cars, and my Cutlass is just under 3,700 pounds. So, wow. That's still a heavy car, but it's a lot lighter than some of these new ones. And every 100 pounds is worth a tenth of a second in the quarter mile. Just remember that. So again, it's all, like I said, it's power to weight. You have a good gearing. You have the right gearing set up in your rear end. You got a good quick shifting auto, and you're making over 400 horsepower. Those modern cars are going to have a heck of a time keeping up. There's more than one video on the internet you'll see of like 383 Chevelles smoking new Mustangs on the highway. well, the newest ones are really fast. The Scat Pack Challengers and SRT Challengers like that. Those are really fast. You're gonna need a heck of a car to run with those.
That's a lot of money though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking nearly twice as much as a mint condition something of what you like.
Right.
What you feel.
For the most part, depends. Like if you're into Cobra Jet stuff or you're into like the rare big horsepower cars, they're going to cost more than a new car.
Yeah, it
just depends on what you're into. But you want to buy like a 73 Nova that's maybe not quite as cool as the 68 to 70. So you buy a 73 Nova, you get it for $4,000. It's in great shape, $5,000, and you drop a 383 stroker in it, and then you put a quick shifting auto in it and beef up the rear end. Everything's gonna have a hard time keeping up with that car. Throw a nitrous at it.
But that's a lot of you gotta. So if you were looking to get something with a really good 383, what did they make that for? What are we looking at here?
That's just a stroked
out car.
That's just a stroked out 350. That's all it is. It's a small block Chevy.
Okay.
So that goes in anything, literally anything.
That's why it's so popular.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Good to know.
promised Jules I wouldn't buy. Yeah, it would go in your Camaro. It would slide right in there, no problem. Um, it's one of those things. That's part of the problem of having a Cutlass, and I love the Cutlass. I love the Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile engines, especially from back then, are specific to Oldsmobile, and all the Oldsmobile guys are going to scream right now. Not as good as the Chevy engine. Just not. When it comes to making horsepower and being reliable, and the Oldsmobile engines have oiling issues, and it costs more money to rebuild them. The heads cost more. Everything costs more. So you can do it, but it takes a lot, and they're still not going to be quite as reliable as the Chevy counterpart for the same money. So that's the problem. However, if you're into olds, then you should have an Olds engine. Don't put a Chevy in.
Yeah, Glenn just said Olds 442.
They
Yeah.
don't even make shit for that, do they anymore?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's expired.
Yeah. There's a race team called Mondello, and they make all the Oldsmobile parts you can think of. In fact, there's a what the heck's the name of it? Oldsmobile Rocket Parts or something like that, and they sell blocks. Like you can get stroked out 455s. They'll sell you a 498. They call it Oldzilla or something like that. And yeah, you can throw big. If you got the money, you can have anything you want. The Oldsmobile,
Oh, in my mind, the 396 is the best.
it isn't. It's a cool engine though. Now here's where I agree with you. It's cool because it was only around for a little while, right? That
Yeah.
was the performance. That was the big block performance engine standard in the Camaro, the Chevelle, the Nova. That was the big block power engine for most people. The 427 was around then too, but the 396 was the one you could get that was affordable, and it wasn't around very long. It's like the Ford 428. It's not that rare really of an engine. They put it in the Thunderbird, they put it in the Mustang, they put it in everything. But it was only around for a few years, and that makes it cool.
Yeah.
So if you're building one, if you got a lot of money, you can make anything fast. There's people with smart 4.2s with crazy horsepower in them. Like,
And here, and I can understand that if you're building a monster, I could get that. Want to change everything up, more horsepower, bigger engine. But I mean, if you've got something solid, there are things that you can do to make that engine respond like it is supposed to, like it was when it was
oh
new,
yeah,
without you know having it
it,
rebuilt.
yeah. I mean, you keep the compression around 10-1. You get some good flowing heads, free flowing exhaust, dump a lot of fuel, get a big carburetor, a heavy cam. Like it's gonna make power. It's gonna make big power.
Yeah.
That's true of any engine. You can make anything pretty fast. Ford 302s, you stroke that out to a 347. You can make upwards of 500 horsepower real easy with those. And you got a little tiny Ford 302 in there, but it makes big power.
People talk about the superchargers all the time, but you don't always, even if you have a smaller V8, you don't want to go to, that's not your go-to thing, because it can't hurt an engine if it can't support the power that it's pumping through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to build the bottom end to support it. So there's safe power. It's like a lot of people are afraid of nitrous. And let me be clear, I've never had a car with nitrous on it. I plan to, but but the basic consensus is up to 100 shot of nitrous. Most engines, if they're healthy, will handle it.
Can handle that.
Yeah, it's when you go
And what
above
is
that.
that? Um,
Nitrous oxide. It's a
well, no,
really
but
cold,
no,
dense, flammable fuel.
yeah. So like, what is the horsepower? I mean, if you're running like, even if you were running like 235 horses, and then you kicked in nitrous.
Your net gain will probably be more than 100 horsepower. So it's an instant switch of like up to 350 horsepower.
So that'd be like perfect. You don't
Well,
want to go too much further than that.
right. So when you think about pro drag racers that run nitrous, like if you're watching Street Outlaws, those guys
Yeah.
are running 250 to 300 shots of nitrous, and they might have 3 to 4 kits that they'll run. So they're going to hit that button 3 times to go through the quarter mile. Like, think of how insane that is.
That's crazy.
And they might have a scramble button. And that a scramble button is just where you have a certain amount of nitrous dialed to come on, and when you hold that button down, it just keeps spraying. It just keeps spraying, and the engine just keeps revving higher and higher, and you hope everything holds together.
Yeah. Everything starts shaking.
Yeah. But if you're in a tight race, it might mean you win. But even the turbo guys can have scramble buttons. It's pretty nuts.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. That is where the sweet spot for drag racing on the street is a turbo. The power, you can program how it comes on, how it builds, how your engine handles. Like, turbos are very customizable and very forgiving on your transmission and your drivetrain if you know how to tune it. So that's why they're so popular.
Okay.
But I don't know. Did I tell you Ken Spruce is the one who bought the Mustang
Oh, he did. He
95.
bought the Mustang.
Yeah, he's gonna be at the car show. He's pretty happy with it. He was messaging me today, asking me about power adders and what I think of them and what I think you should do. And it really does depend on what you want. Like, do you want reliable, there all the time horsepower? Well, then you put a top end on. You put aluminum heads, a bigger cam, a better intake. Get that
Yeah.
factory, or not factory, but that natural horsepower. Get that up. But if you just want to have some fun, do burnouts, and you're not really worried about any of that, throw a supercharger on.
The quick and easy solution.
Yeah. But you can always do that after you do the top end on the engine too, if you got the money, and make even more power.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Probably saved the car some trouble.
yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in all of it is having the right tune, having somebody who knows what they're doing tune the car. Tuning the car is everything.
Yep.
Whether you got a carburetor or you got fuel injection, whether you got nitrous or you've got a turbo or a supercharger or whatever you got, the tune is everything. Everything for engine reliability.
It can really make it run like crap. Like you can tune it to run, but not right.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Yep, it's everything. And carb guys, you got to tune the carb, you got to tune the ignition, so you got to get your timing set right. I mean, you got extra work there.
Well, and I guess that's why I'm nervous about trying anything different with this. I think it's all original. I'm trying to keep it all original if I can just continue to fix her up. Because I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. I don't want to deal with why the engine is not running properly.
Right.
Why it's not the horsepower it's supposed to.
Well, with your car, if you wanted more power, the cheapest thing you could do is pull that engine and put a different engine in it. Mainly because your engine does run good. So there isn't like tearing it apart and doing stuff to that. I don't know that I'd want to do that either, since everything's matching and it's never been apart. You know what I mean? So getting like a crate engine and dropping it in doesn't really hurt anything because it's bolting it in and bolting it out. As long as you keep the factory engine, then you've always got it there to go back to numbers matching.
To go back to it, yeah.
That's what I think about your car.
Okay.
But then you can do that 383 stroker. Although Rob Reynolds will tell you that comes with its own set of issues.
Why?
You'll find the other weak parts of your car real fast.
Well, that's why you slowly rebuild from the ground up. Right. That's what I've been doing.
Right. Robin, the guy that owns Lambert Auto, I don't know his first name. I should. But I just call him Lambert. But he's got that altered wheelbase drag car. That you see that sometimes in the pictures and videos at the drive-in, and him and Rob go down to Union Grove and race down there. down just south of Milwaukee, Union Grove,
Just for
Wisconsin.
fun?
Yeah, mostly. As far as I know, it's just for fun. And then Lambert also has a 62, 63. He's got an Impala, an early Impala, and it's got a 409 in it, and it's built, and it's fast.
Well, when somebody writes a song about you, you know you're doing pretty good.
Right. She's real fine, my 409.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something built forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I saw so many cool cars this year at different times of the drive-in and at the drive-ins car show. I'm just really hoping that a lot of guys come out. We get a 50 to 100 cars there. That would be so cool. If it's more than that, it's more than that. They've promised that they could expand our parking area to accommodate whatever. So,
Awesome.
Zeno's got a big parking lot, and there will be staff on hand to help. There'll be guys helping park. Stan and Ken will be there. We'll have the registration table. We'll be registering all the cars and getting everybody set up for the giveaway. I remembered not to say raffle that time.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. It's going to be a good time. Looking forward to it.
Yes, it will.
Still
Hopefully,
nervous.
I bring up a wagon train of people.
Yeah, I was hoping Nate would follow you up, but he's not. He's going to Jesse's, so
Yep.
he's not coming. I told him, I'm like, if you're selling your car, it's also a heck of a place to advertise it. Show up in person to a bunch of car guys. I mean, they're always looking.
Let them look at it.
In fact, I'm sure there'll be more than one car at the show for sale. You could buy right there if you got cash.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. Next year.
Depends on what it is. I did see an interesting car the other day for sale, an AMC AMX. What year was that? I'm trying to remember the year. It was a fastback.
The 68, 69, somewhere in there.
It was early on, but it was like I can't remember the number on it. It was one of something, but it was beautiful. And $22,000.
They were meant to be a Corvette competitor. They were a two-seater, and they had a 390, an AMX. It had a 390 big block.
Yeah.
Their own design. Yeah.
It was all original.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, that uniqueness makes up for not being the fastest car out there. You know what I mean? Not everyone can be a Boss 429 or a ZL1 Chevelle, the aluminum 454. Not everybody can have that. So, it's cool just to have something. You don't got to be the fastest guy. Just drive it.
A lot of people.
Just drive it. Whatever it is, drive it.
Yeah. Well, and our little brother, he was worried about bringing the truck up because he couldn't get all the stuff done that he wanted to get done to make it look as nice as it could possibly look. And I told him, I was like, dude, look at my car. I'm like, I'm still, it's a work in progress. Get up there.
Hey, I love and appreciate the fact that my Cutlass looks great in pictures.
Yeah.
Get close to it. Get real close. You'll see the paint's a little wavy here, or it's kind of lifted here, and there's little rust bubbles down on the bottoms of the doors. Like, whatever. Yeah. I'll get there.
We drive.
I'll get there. Yep. I'll get there. I'll get them fixed one day. But for now, I just drive it. I take it to work. I take it to the store. I take it all over.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I convinced him though, because he's talking about getting up there, and I told him not to worry about the truck. I said if he's not worried about mechanical issues, get it up there. That's a beautiful '85 Dodge Ram.
Yeah, Jordan's truck's going to be up there. It's a '98 Dodge Ram. Like,
yeah.
Park
but
right
there
next to
are
it.
Specialties to it. It's not a regular one.
No, it's got a 6-inch lift and 37-inch IROCs on it, and yeah, it's a big truck. And we painted it flat green.
Flat green.
Flat green with black fender flares. Rhino lined it. It's a monster.
It's a nice truck.
But
that's what I was explaining to him. That's okay.
Yeah.
People can appreciate that's all original. Even the little bit of rust that he's got is all original. It's still a beautiful truck.
It's still a nice truck.
Yep.
Yep, I like his truck. I had one. I had an '86 Dodge.
I remember. Chuck Norris truck.
That thing was a monster too.
I like that one.
I wish I still had it. Honestly, I wish I still had that and well, every other car I've owned, but
Yep.
every other
I'd have
cool one.
5. All I'd have is 5. If I had all those, I'd have 5, and all of them were beautiful in their own way.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any I wouldn't have any problems having those cars. Julie would not be
Nope.
happy, but I that would not that would be the ultimate to have all of them. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
And
someday.
quick shout out to my wife
Yeah.
for being cool with me sinking $1,600 into the IROC in the
Thank
last
you.
3 days.
Thank you, Celestine. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
we appreciate that.
Car guys everywhere salute you and then give their wives the stink eye. Say, why can't you be
It's
cool
not an
like
everyday
Celestine?
thing, so that's really cool.
No. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, um, yeah, I guess Angie's coming up too with the boys, so they'll
Yeah,
all be here for the car show.
that's right.
It'll be fun. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, so real quick, that's not the only thing going on. The NFL's kicking in. Matthew
Yes.
Stafford is gonna play. He did not opt out of the season. What do you think they're gonna do?
Oh man, it's hard. It's hard to say. I know a lot. I know there's a lot of guys that are opting out of playing
Yeah,
all together because they can, and some of them are scared, and that's okay.
yeah,
I don't think that's a big deal at this point for somebody not to want to participate. But I believe that with all things that are going on, we got a shot, man. Just because it's a weird time. This is a weird time. This is time for Detroit to pick one up on the sly. Just slide in there.
Here's
Nobody's
why
paying
that.
attention.
Now, I absolutely agree. Now, here's why it pisses me off. Because it's Detroit's dumb luck that everyone's going to opt out. A lot of big name players are going to opt out, and then a couple will get hurt, and then Detroit, you're right, it's going to slide through, get
Yeah.
a Super Bowl. The NFL is going to put
Just
an
slaughter
asterisk on it.
them.
NFL is going to put an asterisk on it and say COVID year or you know what I
No,
mean?
they
Like they do
wouldn't do that
lockout
to
year
us.
or and so
It's
then
just as hard on our team as it is on everybody else. It just happens that this year turns out we've got a lot of all pros on the same team.
right.
And that's dangerous. I don't care.
So when we go, Stafford has just as many Super Bowl wins as Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna go, yeah, but it was the COVID year. That's what's gonna happen for all time, and
Whatever. Hey,
that's really gonna
if
piss
he
me
if,
off.
if he could get one this year, then we might be able to snag him on a new long contract because we
Maybe,
all know that Stafford is a really good quarterback, and there are teams out there that might have already won a Super Bowl with him.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Green Bay.
I know that the Patriots looked into seeing if the Lions were willing to deal him before they picked up Cam Newton. So
Yeah.
that would have been interesting though, because you throw Matt on that team with Bill, and they got a shot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he was having an MVP type season last year before he got hurt. That was
I know.
hopefully he picks up from there and he's just as good. I hope so.
I don't see how you could not pick up from there because he didn't lose any talent on the offensive line. He didn't lose any talent in the backfield, and he gained at least 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. I think a big thing will be if Hokinson can stay healthy, because when
Yep.
he's healthy, he's an impossible weapon, because he's a great blocker and he's a great receiver. He's super athletic. He's got great hands. As long as he stays healthy, your second string linebacker is not going to take him on.
So we've got these guys, several of them, not all of them. We got these guys for at least 3 more years. These younger guys.
Right.
So if we can get Stafford to stay on for 3 or 4 more years, I mean,
I think you're right
depending on
though. It's this year. If they do well this year, they got a chance of keeping him. If they don't, then
he might not want to stay, even though the bonus on our side is he does love Detroit, and he
he
does want
does.
to prove that he can, from where he started from, lead them to where they
Right.
need to be. So that's on our side because he doesn't want to go out like that.
Right.
He said so.
What if Aaron Rodgers leaves after this season and goes to the Chargers? It's possible.
I don't know. It all depends on what kind of team they have. You know, I don't know. I don't know if he liked Holmgren before he left, but then McCarthy was there, and then at the end of that, he didn't like him because they weren't winning.
Yeah.
But then he already didn't like this LaFleur guy.
They
So
were
what
button
does that
heads
mean
immediately.
for him?
Well,
Is he
what
getting
it means
bitchy?
is they drafted a quarterback to replace him.
That's what
And
happens.
all right, but he's got a good 4 years, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in football. I think that's
Oh
a
yeah,
huge mistake on Green Bay's part. I really do.
it is.
They could have waited and
Because
drafted
all
somebody.
you're saying is that you're rebuilding. Because it
Right.
could take quarterbacks 7 or 8 years
Right.
before they really hit it.
Well, they were talking about when Aaron Rodgers got drafted. He was a consensus number one or number two quarterback that year, and for whatever reason, he fell way down in the draft, and Green Bay snagged him. Like he didn't
Yeah.
know why. Nobody knew why he did because there was no reason. He wasn't injured. Nothing happened. He just slid. Jordan Love was not a high QB option on anybody's draft board. So Green Bay trading up to get him made absolutely no sense unless they're sending a very clear message
Yeah.
to Aaron
That you're all
Rodgers
done.
that they're done with him.
Well, it's tough. It's a tough go to try and replace somebody at Aaron Rodgers' level.
Do you ever
It's
watch
and it's insulting to him because he's still that good. Like you said, 4 more years. If he
yeah,
can stay healthy, he's had a couple big time injuries. A
yeah.
couple in his
So
later years.
do you know who Pat McAfee is?
Yeah,
So he's got his own YouTube show, right? With him and
the
AJ Hawk.
punter. Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome. So he has this huge YouTube show. And AJ Hawk's on there, so they talk to Aaron Rodgers off and on. And AJ Hawk was talking about it after the fact, but draft night when they drafted Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers turned off all his crap, poured himself a three-finger tequila. A three-finger tequila is if you put three fingers against the glass and fill it up to the top of your
Yeah.
fingers.
Yeah.
He poured himself three fingers of tequila, drank it, and then turned his phone back on to get ready for all the messages. Well, what are you going to do?
He knew.
I think they're dumb. I think that's a huge mistake. I think Aaron Rodgers has been criminally under supported since they won a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and they did the same thing to Brett Favre, so it's no different. But these two idiots that are in there now, it's like those assholes coming into the Star Wars franchise and wanting to turn Luke into a bad guy who tried to kill his nephew and then didn't have the
Yeah.
balls and then went to hide on some island and drink green titty milk from aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, do you hate him? Do you hate the characters? Did you come in and you were like, God, I hate those guys in that movie? You know what I mean? Turn
Yeah.
Han into a deadbeat dad whose own son
Yeah.
kills him. Like, did you hate it? Did you hate those people? Because that's like contempt. The only thing you didn't do is make him a pedophile. That'll come out next. And Yoda was a pedophile.
Yeah.
That'll be Mandalorian season 3. Baby Yoda got touched by old Yoda. It's that's how I feel about the Green Bay coaching staff though, is they want to put their stamp on things. They want their players, their team, their way. They're going to come in. They're getting rid of anybody who doesn't like them. And oftentimes when guys show up to do that, if their name's not Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
when has that ever worked out? Did it work out for Rex Ryan? No. Did it work out for Never.
How long has Rodgers been quarterbacking as a starter for the Packers? Like 9 years, right? Just 9. Because he spent 2 years sitting under Favre, or two or three.
He was drafted in 06, wasn't he? I think he took over in 08 or 09.
Something like that.
They won in 2010, the Super Bowl, I think.
I don't know. And
I don't know. It was
it's
a long
hard
time
to
ago.
find a really good quarterback. That's It's like a unicorn. So
That's why I get pissed at Lions fans. They're like, "Get rid of Stafford. He's a bum."
I
I'm like,
know.
"For who?
Okay, sure. For
For
who?
who? Yeah. Who are you
Chase
getting?
Daniels,
Yeah.
Tyree Jackson.
We tried Orlovsky. We
Yeah,
tried Sean Hill. We tried them all.
John Kitna.
We had Dante Culpepper at one point.
Yep, and he
We
played
tried them
well
all.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
He did.
John
Had to throw the
Kitna, yeah.
Calvin.
John
That's not
Kitna,
so hard.
we finished 7-9 in 2007, and he's like, "We're going to the playoffs next year." We go 4-0 in the preseason, and he's like, "We got a shot." 0-16.
Yeah, I mean we've definitely had our quarterback bust. That's for sure.
Yep.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I got a reality check for Packers fans though. You ready?
Okay.
So before last season, they hadn't beaten Detroit in 2 years. They'd lost 4 in a row. Coming into their first matchup with Detroit, it took some miracle level bad reffing for them to win that game. Basically,
Yep.
that ref literally at the end of the game in 3 sequences took 7 points off the board from Detroit and gave 7 points to Green Bay. That's what happened. And then they killed Detroit's next drive.
Yeah.
So, and it was bad officiating, and it was agreed upon like all across the NFL. Nobody's debating that fact. Now, people will say Detroit had a big lead. They should have kept it. Like, there's other issues. I get that. But that's not how sports work. It
No.
often comes down to the fourth quarter and some very key
You
plays
have
that
to legitimately catch up, not be boosted by the
assisted.
refs
Right.
by 14 points.
So they got an assist there, and then when the Lions had that Walmart check boy or whoever was quarterbacking at the end of the season,
Yeah.
whoever that was, he was terrible.
Burrow.
Yeah, I bet he's working at Walmart right now. I hope he hears this. I feel for you, man. That was a tough situation.
That's tough.
You'll be
He
better
did
at
throw that.
Walmart.
Remember that first play? He threw that 70-some-yard touchdown pass to Kenny Galladay, and everybody was like, "Huh, maybe."
Yeah. Then he threw 4 picks.
Yep.
Yeah. They barely beat him. Like we lost that game by less than a touchdown at the end of the season.
Joe
So here's my
Burrow.
reality check for Green Bay. If Stafford's healthy, this team comes in, Green Bay is going to get beat by Detroit twice. That's what's going to happen. As it had been happening. You get a healthy Detroit in a regular season, Green Bay is going down, especially this year because you're going to have a ton of turmoil on that team. I don't care how they try to spin it, how they try to say we're coming together. No, you're not. That team is fractured permanently until Aaron Rodgers finds a new home. That team's in trouble.
Yep.
So I can't wait.
I'm excited too. I saw there's been some performance enhancing going on in a natural way in Detroit. Did you see Jared Davis?
No.
Oh man, he put on like 20 pounds of muscle.
Steroids.
He's freaking huge, man. Dude lost his neck.
I hope USADA doesn't catch up to him before the season. Because let me tell you.
And they say that he's developed a strong kinship with Jamie Collins. Like they become really close friends.
And Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
He's got the same doctor as The Rock.
Yep. Same dude.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I've actually never cared if football players take steroids. I think it's so stupid that they can't, or they're not supposed to. I should say. I think they should let them go.
Awesome. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like SNL, the All Steroid Olympics. Remember? That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
That would be awesome. It'd be the most entertaining thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They'd be picking up those giant rocks and throwing them.
Yeah. What would it be? 2024, where even the chicks are dudes. Yeah, that'd be something. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess if not everybody's doing it, then you can't do it because it is unfair. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
but if
there's been I believe there's been players that have been convinced by leaks to take steroids to
sure,
um, give a boost to ratings or whatnot.
yeah,
Like Mark
whole
McGuire,
whole
Sammy
programs have
Sosa,
been busted. Whole
yeah,
programs have been busted. I mean, like collegiate
Barry
athletic
Bonds,
programs have been busted.
yeah.
Actively, having their kids take steroids to boost their play. Whole
Well, I
programs have been
always thought
busted.
it was
So
unfair that they would ask these players to do this over a certain amount of time, and then when they get busted, they also want them to take the fall
yeah,
and lose it all.
I also think when the NCAA comes around to allowing the men's basketball players to get money or sponsorships, they need to come back and kiss Chris Webber's ass and let him right back into the fold because
Yep.
every program that had a major Shaq got rich in college, everybody knows that. That was a joke for many years. However, it's true. LeBron got rich in college. His mom had a brand new Hummer that was like 70 grand, single mom, when he was in high school. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on now. What are we doing?
But that, and then
We're just
and
playing
then you'd
pretend?
have people say, "Well, what's happening to this sport and all this and that?"
I'll tell you
But
what's
then on the
happening in the
same
sport.
hand, you're using this guy to fill your stadium all the time.
Right. Right.
And that's what you're, and so you can't ask him to do it for free because his butt's on the line.
Right.
There's got
Well,
to be something on the other end for these guys because they are. I mean, and they make huge mistakes
yeah.
sometimes, just like everybody else.
Well, who is the running back for Ohio State that ended up losing eligibility and got kind of blackballed from the pros? And
Oh man, who was that?
what the heck was his name? It wasn't that long ago, but he was getting like free tattoos and he got a car and he got like a free apartment and
Yep.
it was stupid.
But they told him it was the end, and it was the end.
Yeah.
He never did win that fight.
No.
Yeah, I watched the documentary. I'm just trying to remember who that was.
I can't remember.
It's probably happened to a lot of guys, I'm sure.
I know
He's
we're all
not.
over the place, but let me just say here's what I think about the modern NBA. All of them, all of them. The past 10 years, every champion gets rolled by the top 5 teams in the 90s. Straight
Oh
rolled.
yeah.
Put
Oh
them
yeah.
back there with those monsters. Put them back there, especially under those rules. It would be a joke. It would be
Yeah.
a joke.
There
You want
was
to talk
there
about
was
the
a
pick
lot
and roll?
more.
Carl
There,
Malone and Sean Kemp would have a field day
oh
against these
man.
teams.
Yeah.
You think that dude for the Pelicans is good? Watch the Rain Man in his prime. It's a
Oh
whole different
my
level.
God.
Whole
Could you
different
imagine
level.
those teams with these rules?
Oh God.
The early '90s Chicago Bulls with the rules that they have now.
Michael would
I mean,
average
Steve Kerr would probably
65,
average
70
40 points a
points.
game.
Yeah, they would. What do they say? In an era where you can literally watch video of Bill Laimbeer punching Michael Jordan in the face as he's going in for a layup and not
Yep,
getting called for it.
that was okay.
Literally, he comes over his shoulders and he makes a fist as he's coming through and punches Jordan in the face as he's trying to shoot a layup. In that era, when Carl Malone elbowed Isaiah Thomas right in the
Everybody.
face and split his forehead open, he had to get stitches. They butterflied it together with tape on the sideline and he finished the game. That's 80s 90s basketball. And by the way, that year Isaiah averaged 21 over 21 points a game and over 13 assists per game. Only point guard ever to do that. Only one.
And you know what? And you know what's hilarious about that is he's not really mentioned.
Yeah.
When people talk about the greatest point guards of all time, I don't hear Isaiah Thomas a whole lot, but he is.
Right.
Like
And
you
those
always hear John Stockton and Magic Johnson and
yeah.
some of those guys, but Isaiah Thomas is in different ways he's better.
Right. He was the best pure point guard in the history of basketball. He is. I mean, Magic Johnson was more than that because he could play forward and he could play center, and he did at times.
But that just says that he's not a pure point guard.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah, it sucks. Detroit never gets its due, man. It never gets its due.
Except during COVID-19.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. See.
The story yet to be written. What a weird time to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Tigers look really good so far this year.
I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it's funky. I don't know. I hope that they don't let the political crap go too far. Just because you get enough of that everywhere else, I don't need it there. Especially when it's so superficial.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but a bunch of multi-millionaires taking whatever it is. I don't care about taking a knee. I get why they do it. I don't think it's disrespectful. I don't have a problem with it. I never did. But it's a little superficial, isn't it? Isn't it a little? I'm crying, or I'm talking about the hypocrisy and the unfairness of my skin color, as a black man. But I'm a black man who makes $40 million a year with endorsements.
Yeah.
It's a bad look. It's a bad look, man. I get what they're doing, and I get why they're doing it.
In most jobs, I do feel bad for the fact that he's a talented athlete, and he could have continued playing had things not ended up the way they did.
Yeah.
But when you're hired in to do a job, whatever job it is, and there's reasons why I won't take certain jobs, is because I know that I can't follow their rules.
Right.
I won't, because I don't agree. So I don't take those jobs.
Right. Well, what a lot of people don't know, I mean, I do think there was I don't know if you could say he was straight up blackballed, but Kaepernick was definitely, those owners definitely had an opinion. We'll put it that way.
There was a thumb pressing down.
However, he turned down 2 contracts when he left San Francisco.
I heard that.
He had 2 backup offers to the Baltimore Ravens, and he had one to the Denver Broncos, and he turned them both down.
And that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, and he just had he was going to get the league minimum. They offered him the league minimum to come in and show what he could do. And I forget which team this was. It might have been the Broncos again, and he turned it down again. So Cap, I think, is also a savvy enough businessman at this point. His $90 million Nike contract. I don't think he's all that keen to go back in and play football for, what is the league minimum? $450,000 a year. I don't think he's all that interested in $450,000 and take those hits.
And there's a level where they know that.
Right.
It'd be like asking a starting quarterback to come in and get paid like a third stringer. I don't know. I mean,
right.
And he doesn't need the money. So maybe if a team that could contend to the Super Bowl and was offering him a starting job that was a low rate,
what team
maybe
would
then
that be?
He might.
What team would that be, though? I can't think of one. I can't think of one where he would come in and be the final piece that makes them win. I can't think of a single team because he's not that good. Like, he's not Cam Newton. He's not, he's not one of those guys. He's not going to come in and carry the team.
Maybe somebody with a heavy defense like Chicago.
Right. So, like, if he came into Chicago or the Denver Broncos, he keep trying to sign him.
Yeah.
With Von Miller and those guys, that's his chance where he could come in and be a game manager. But I think he knows that, and that's not what he wants to do. I think he wants a chance to sling it and be the star.
He wants to go balls out. Yeah, but that wasn't going to happen. Teams,
he's not that good. He's not that guy. You don't want him doing that.
Good numbers in San Francisco, but here's what teams don't look at 2 years. There's been tons of guys, Matt Ryan and them. They call him the Iceman, and he's done, a lot of years he's played as an All-Pro. But Kaepernick, you got to see him for 4 years. Yeah. And he had 2 really good years, and that's it. So how do you base anything on that? You can't. That's not how you earn that money.
He had 1 really good year, And the second year it was down, and the third year it was down from there, and the fourth year it was down from there. When he got benched, he was horrible. And basically what it was, and this is the problem in the NFL when you're talking about elite athletes. And this isn't a shot at Kaepernick because I think he is a hell of an athlete. I mean, it's obvious if you watch him move, you watch him throw, you watch him do what he does. That's also not enough. In the NFL, you have the best football minds in the world game planning for your weaknesses. They watch hours and hours and hours of your footage. They watch the way you release the ball, how you handle different defensive sets, and they find out what your weaknesses are, and they build a game plan just for you. And when they figure you out, if you have obvious weaknesses, and let's face it, Kaepernick does, he does not read defenses well. He does not adjust well. And so they just, once they knew that, they just threw weird things at him, and he couldn't read the defense. He couldn't adjust. He threw lots of picks. He threw lots of crazy,
Well, and
he sucked.
we're talking about NFL teams with, at some points where they've got over 80 players on each team.
Yeah.
And a starting quarterback is a leader of a team. So you've got a lot of players on there. They don't even care about the money. They're fighting for, all they care about is a championship. They just want to have that moment. Yeah. And then you've got your leader out there who's going to take a dive and just leave you hanging in the wind. And that also tells a team something. If you can't be that guy for everybody,
Yeah. Well, there was a basketball player, and his name escapes me right now, but his brother got killed by the police unjustly. And it happened right before Kaepernick started taking a knee. And the reason you don't hear very much about it is because he didn't go to the media. What he did was he started a community action program where he went into the inner city and he worked with area youth in the inner city and inner city police. And he brought them together and started work groups where they could get to know each other. And he affected change in that way. And that's so much more powerful. It's such a more intelligent way to do it. Because like it or not, Kaepernick at some point became a businessman. He became a martyr. He became a symbol of police brutality against blacks, which is a real thing. It's just, it sucks that that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks you have to deal with it. It sucks that you don't have, you don't have other people involved. It's just, the whole thing sucks. It just does.
I don't blame him for what he did, but you got to deal with the consequences of doing it. Public like that, you're working for an organization, wearing somebody's logo. I mean,
right.
It would be like that at any job.
Right. The problem is, I think in this day and age, what people want to see is faster change. Right? Like, they always say there's not enough black owners, there's not enough black coaches, there's not enough black, leadership in the NFL. Well, maybe that's true. That you could say that. But 20 years ago there was none.
Yeah.
30 years ago
it was not even a consideration.
Right. Well, and there wasn't nearly as many black players as they are now. You know, so progress is happening. It's just happening, I think, slower than people would like. They were talking about unarmed black men killed by police. It was like in the 90s, it was like in the hundreds per year.
Yeah.
And in the 2000s, it was in like 50 to 60 per year. Early 2010s, it was like 30 and 40 per year. Last year, it was 9. Okay, so there's obvious improvement there as well, but it's not happening fast enough. I mean, I would agree with that even, because it shouldn't ever happen if things are the way they are supposed to be. So, it's a rough
and you're
thing.
talking about circumstances. I wonder sometimes, because I try to think about how a police officer must feel in a dangerous situation. We just had this thing happen this past week at the bridge. Did you read about that?
Mm-mm.
So this guy, he's wanted by the police, and he's getting run down, and he comes up to the bridge, and they got the blockade up. The state policeman pulled out in front of him so he couldn't get by, tried to block him off.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went up to the guy's SUV, he was driving a Tahoe, he was like, "Sir, turn off your engine," and the guy wouldn't do it. And when the cop reached in to turn the engine off, he put his arm on the cop's arm, threw it in reverse, and floored it and dragged the cop backwards, knocked his car, ran through the barricade anyways, and he got away, and he ended up dropping the car off somewhere over here around our area because our tribal cops got involved here. But yeah, it's so you think about the level of fear and then anger. Right. That you're in this position where you're supposed to be listened to. It's just a simple request, you know. Obviously,
I think part of it is like even in a small town, what people don't understand, what cops deal with even in a small town. The drunk, the domestic violence, the abuse they take from people all day long, every day.
It's scary, man.
It's a lot. So it's an impossible job anyway, and they don't get the training they should. There was a special forces commander on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was talking about it, and he's like, they should spend 1 day a week training every cop everywhere,
all the time.
At least 1 day a week training for their entire career. You know, and that doesn't happen. They don't get that level of training. They don't get that level of support, and so. Unfortunately, what's lost in all this is you have a lot of angry people that want the police defunded and the system really shook up. That isn't the answer. The honest to God answer in a lot of cities is more police. What you really want is more police. What will stop gang violence in inner city? A police on every corner.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
Stops everybody from making that stupid mistake.
But that's really what you need. And obviously that costs a lot of money and a lot of time, and I don't know. I'll tell you this though, every weekend this year, every single weekend, there's more people shot in the south side of Chicago than black men shot by police this year. Think about that. There's more people shot from January to June in Chicago than were killed or were shot than American soldiers were shot since 2000 in Iraq. Think about that statistic.
That's crazy.
That's insane. That's one city. That's not Baltimore. That's not New York. That's not LA.
I heard from several couples at the store that came from Chicago, and they said we try and stay away from the South End.
Yeah, I won't go there. There was a Tool concert there, and a buddy of ours wanted to go real bad, and I was like, no, I don't care. And he's like, oh, I know this bar, and my buddy knows it, and it would be pretty good. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Why risk it?
Right.
It's not even worth it.
Yeah, not doing it. Oh. Yeah, it's a really unfortunate, and like kids get killed, and women get killed, and old people get killed routinely. I mean, routinely, hundreds every year, hundreds.
So then, what are they asking? They want gangs to become the police again, like they once were, where it was to the highest bidder who gets the protection.
And this is what no one wants to admit. So in Illinois, the governor is a Democrat. The mayor of Chicago is a Democrat. Their senators and senators and congressmen are Democrats. It's completely controlled by one party. If they wanted to do something, they could do it. They have the power. They have the authority. They have the consensus. They have everybody on one side of the fence. And it's been that way forever. And guess what? Nothing. They've done absolutely nothing to change it. So, I'm not going to pretend to know what is the right move there. I would be an idiot. My thing would be like, let's just go in and take everybody's stuff, like let's go house by house and just see what we find, like I don't know what you do. I don't have a good answer.
No. Well, I was talking to Glenn early about the civics teacher, Jay Emblad. Remember him? Mm-hmm. The mustache?
Yeah.
And how he explained to us why we wouldn't want to have those jobs. All of us that sit and complain and talk about how they're not doing their jobs right, and this is how he's like, you wouldn't know what to do.
Well, it starts with a budget, and it starts with a room full of people with needs, and where are you going to go? And then you have the people who helped you get into office that are like, hey, don't you forget about me. That's right. Yeah, I helped get you here.
Yeah.
And that's
and then trying to get anything done.
Right.
Like completely. You can say all you want to say, but you might as well just stick to one thing. You might be able to get that one thing.
Right. It's a horrible, horrible thing. I don't know. I don't have any answers for that kind of crap.
Neither do I.
because I only know how to react to certain things one way, and it wouldn't be good.
No.
I'd see a
It
I'd see a
would be
dead
nice. There'd be some angry people out there.
I would see a dead child on the news, and I'd be like, okay, can we bring in the National Guard tomorrow and go house to house in the South Side? Can we?
Yep. We'll just make this real quick.
Yep. And take everything they got. Every gun, every drug, everything. Just pull it. Pull
Yep.
it. All their money that you find piles of money stashed somewhere, we're just gonna assume it's drug money. We're
Yep.
taking that too. I don't know, because it's such an extreme situation. I don't know.
Well, they had some. I mean,
And
it's not. They've been through some pretty bad ones before. I remember watching a documentary about how they developed that goon squad, that special task force that didn't take any crap and didn't follow the rules because they had no choice because they were like, kind
So
of in a corner.
so imagine what that is. And imagine nowadays with everybody with a video camera.
Oh man, it would
Can
be
you imagine
horrible.
what you get? Like exactly, it's like even my thing, like, oh, bring in the National Guard. You know what you'd have? A lot of videos of National Guardsmen beating the piss out of civilians and
Yeah.
taking their stuff. Like, it would be
Uh,
so horrible.
Probably wouldn't work out very well.
No, no, it'd be horrible. It'd be horrible, but I also don't know, I don't think you can, like, they keep saying, like, we're going to solve the problems in the south side of Chicago by building community centers. I literally heard that in the news the other day, and I was like, they have community centers. They sell drugs there.
Yep.
And that's a place where people get shot too. Like,
And that's where you need more policing
right. But
because that's the only way you can run those places. It's like a target. Anytime that when in high school when they tried to open up a community building for youth,
yeah,
it would last maybe a year and then get shut down because of all the flocking of the bad element because it's young older teenagers.
I think another way would be to offer those gang leaders immunity. Offer them immunity, bring them in, try to help them get into legitimate business.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be crass, but if it's weed shops, liquor stores, and strip clubs, do it. But get them to stop gangbanging. Like, if you could get them to
Yeah.
stop doing that, now at least people aren't dying. Let's figure the rest out.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a great solution either, but I don't think there are any great solutions. I
It goes deep.
Yeah, it is generational, and that's where systemic racism is real. Those red lines that they drew back in the 50s, like all the way up, those are real. And those people were, the black people in those neighborhoods, they were put there, they were put in shitholes, they were denied money, they were denied, access to money, and they were pushed down. There is no doubt about that. That is 100% real. It's documented. Everybody admits it happened. That's not
Yep.
debatable. So how do you fix that? Well, we kind of, in many ways, we have. The schools aren't segregated anymore. Um, they do have access to money. You have the NAACP. You have all these different programs to help African American businessmen, and there are lots of African American businessmen.
Yep.
Unfortunately, a lot of them lost their businesses in all this rioting because, unfortunately, where a lot of this BLM crap went down is in poor neighborhoods where they burnt down minority owned businesses and looted them, unfortunately. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know how you stop any of it. There's so much civil unrest in those cities. It makes me so happy I'm in a small town.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you see like all the homelessness and the rioting in like Portland, and LA is such a crap hole now, and Chicago, the violence off the charts. New York's got the worst gun violence in their history right now. Like, I'm so glad to be in a small town.
Well, it could only get worse. That's why us simple town folk we stick to muscle and speed. You
Right.
know.
That's that's not gonna hurt nobody, thankfully.
Nope. It's all
Thankfully.
fun.
We accept everyone. We don't care. Well,
Just
as
don't
long as
hide your car.
Yeah, if you're into cool cars, you're into cool bikes, you're into off-roaders, whatever it is, they don't care. If you don't even want to own one, if you just like to hang out, look at them, listen to music, you're still one of our people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really feel for the people in those cities though that are just caught in it. You know, they're just average folks. You know, I really feel for them.
Nothing they can do except leave, and then what?
And then what? You know, I mean, just think about your own logistics. Could you pack up where you are right now? Could you pack up everything you got and realistically leave? I don't know. Jules and I, no.
I
We
could
own a
do it.
house. We like. There'd be so many
It
things that
would
would come
probably
up
be
with
the
that.
last. It would probably be the last thing I do. That last thing I put on the truck, it'd probably kill me. I've done that too many times.
Yeah, it's
But
tough.
I could do it.
That's tough. I don't know.
That's tough.
Well, look, guys, it's been an hour and a half. We've been bullshitting, and I'm not sure we accomplished anything. We definitely didn't solve any problems, and we definitely don't have any solutions for anybody. But we will say, go Lions, and the car show next week's going to be a blast.
Yeah, show
Oh
up.
yeah.
All right. We'll catch you
Watch it
guys
show up.
later. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.